And speaking of TrustPilot, that is our next story. So I find TrustPilot very interesting. So I once was reached out to on LinkedIn by a company that develops websites. And they were doing their cold email outreach. It was obviously an automated bot that was emailing me, but I was actually looking to make a website. So I was talking to them, and I looked at the TrustPilot, and they had like 2,000 reviews that were all like, they were like 4.5 stars, 5 stars, whatever, average. And I was like, holy shit! Like these guys made like if you have 2,000 reviews. Usually, if you get reviews, like at least I would say like you have 4 times as many customers, right? Because not everyone's going to leave a review, right? So if they had 2,000 reviews, that means that they have like 8,000 customers. I was like, I don't know. So I started looking at the reviews, and I'm like, these are obviously fake. And I thought it was so interesting that my initial reaction, if I didn't, have my digital marketing sunglasses, my journalistic sunglasses on, I would have thought that that was real and that they were legit, right? And so I ended up not working with them because I realized that it was their fake reviews. But that got me into looking at TrustPilot some more. And I was talking to another tech co-founder about this, and he was telling me that he realized on his TrustPilot that there was a lot of negative reviews because usually people will go and write a review. They'll get the energy to go write a review when they want to write a bad review, right?
Yeah.
So even though he has a lot of happy customers, the ones that are happy aren't going out of their way to go write him a review, but the bad ones are. So he contacted TrustPilot, and he's like, hey, like, what can we do about this? And they're basically like, let's bleep this out. Pay us. They're like, So what's funny is because as I was kind of developing the story on how to identify a good product, a good lifetime deal, and looking at how LeadCard had manipulated his TrustPilot, and then I saw this news that apparently TrustPilot is being accused and from many people of allowing or not censoring fake reviews. So this is apparently a very known issue about this, and their stock has plummeted. So I got a story here from Estate Agent Today. So I think this is like a real estate agent kind of site, but they're talking about how real estate agents are having these fake reviews. There's another story here with the founder talking about how he pledges to get tough with cheats. We ask, how far would you trust TrustPilot? And so basically they're saying that they're going to start suing people. And they are in the process of suing some companies that have manipulated their reviews on TrustPilot. So apparently they have a legal team. Here's another one here about their share price dropping. So they have a legal team that's going out, and now they're attempting to create publicity over the fact that they are suing or trying to punish people who try to manipulate their platform. So I think this is all kind of PR, BS in my opinion, that they're not going to get everybody because there's probably like so many thousands of people who have done this. It's actually pretty funny. If you go on Upwork, you could just find people who say that they will write fake reviews for you. And you can also go and look at who they have worked with in the past, and you can actually see everybody who hired them and all company names. And then that those people also paid for fake reviews. So it's actually like you can figure this out. You can like crack down on this. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I got the journalistic glasses on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But what I think is even more...
Yeah. You do have the right sunglasses. You are rocking the right look for this right now. I love it.
Yeah. So what TrustPilot does, you can see here their plan. So they're saying it starts at $200 per month, paid annually. But really, if you want to clean up your reviews, you got to pay them way more money. Okay, I think it was in the several hundreds of dollars per month or over $1,000 per month. So I had somebody I know who was trying to like get into this, and he kind of told me that like he just felt like it was just such a scam. That's like the way that reviews work is that people will write bad reviews, and then people are like, I want to clean up my reputation. So then they end up paying many thousands of dollars to TrustPilot, who will then clean it up and give them a 5-star review. You look at like a GoDaddy or any of these like big companies, they all basically have to pay. It's not just TrustPilot. There's some other ones out there that are the same business model.
Yeah.
Yelp, actually, for the local businesses. I remember Yelp. We're gonna bleep that one out. But I remember talking to Yelp. My mom had a restaurant, and the way that they were like, I don't know, man. I really felt like they were just like, I don't know. It just felt really unethical working with Yelp in the way that they come after people.
You beat me to it, man. This problem is so much bigger than TrustPilot. So much bigger. Years ago, I remember hiring a graphic designer off of Fiverr, and she had like 1,000 positive reviews. And like, this is I'm only going to share the story really quickly because this was like my eye-opening moment. And I guess I just learned this lesson the hard way years ago because I paid her, I can't remember what I paid her. This was years ago. And she provided the work that I asked for, but there was so much back and forth. And she provided images for me that were in the totally wrong format. So then I'm Googling the proper formats, taking screenshots and sending it to her, like basically doing her job for her, right? Like, you're the graphic designer. I'm not a graphic designer. You're like, I told you I needed, these profile shots and that wallpaper and like for the platforms and everything. Like, you should have known the ratios that I need these images in. And it got so bad that I finally just I left her a hugely negative review because it was accurate. And I submitted a complaint with Fiverr, and I said, how is it possible that this graphic designer with like 1,000 positive reviews can't even provide the images to me in the correct formats? Like, it's not even possible. So I put it to them. I said, I think you might have like someone who's like scamming your system here, who's somehow managed to populate all of these fake reviews in our account. And then she's basically fooling people like me. And I said to Fiverr, I'm like, I don't even want a refund. I'm just like, I'm probably not going to ever do this ever again because this was such a negative experience. And then, I mean, I can go on and on and on. I've as I've mentioned before, I'm in the YouTube game, and dude, it's the same thing with YouTube comments, man. Same thing, because when I do a comparable analysis, I'm checking out the competitors' comments, and it's so painfully obvious that like a boring video, and I know it in my gut, like, this is a boring video. This guy's paying for fake comments, probably off of Fiverr or Upwork or what have you. Yeah. So yeah, this is a huge problem.
Yeah, but the Fiverr thing, I don't know if you remember, I used to talk about this, but sometimes what they'll do is a very simple task. And what happens when you create a listing on Fiverr, the URL at the top is the title of your listing. So the title will be like, I will convert your Word doc to a PDF, right? Something very easy you could do for $5 and get a 5-star review on, right? And then what they'll do is they'll switch it. And then after they get a bunch of 5-star reviews, and they switch the title to, I will, make all your social media graphics or whatever, right? But if you look at the URL doesn't change. So I noticed that a lot. If I look at a Fiverr listing, which I don't really buy on Fiverr anymore, but I look at the URL, because the URL was the original title, which is what may have generated those initial 5-star reviews. But of course, you can also go on Upwork. I bet you can go on Fiverr and hire somebody to leave you a 5-star review, But I know on Upwork, you can just go on there, or, a lot of these different platforms, and be like, give me lots of 5-star reviews, and you will get it. So it's very easy to manipulate the system. So yeah, reviews are a tough thing to really get. I personally don't leave negative reviews for businesses unless they're really bad, and I think that it is jeopardizing the community if they ended up working with this company. I usually only will leave 5-star reviews because, as a business owner, I know how it can really impact your business. So if I just have like a slightly negative experience, it was just personal to me, I won't necessarily leave a bad review. But if I got ripped off, and like this person was unethical, then I would go out of my way to do that, which I've not really done very much of. So yeah, I'm very careful, because I know what it's like to be a business owner. You can't be perfect. And so, some people might get upset for whatever reason. They got a bad mood. Maybe you're in a bad mood, whatever. And it sucks to get a bad review. So I'm very cautious. But yeah, kind of what you were talking about there, whereas like it was really bad and clearly they got fake reviews. And yeah,
I totally felt ripped off. Totally felt ripped off. Totally felt I wasted my time, wasted my money. And I've never been back to Fiverr since. So it's funny, you and I both it sounds like both of us have had negative experiences with Fiverr, and we haven't gone back. It looks like lots of people are having negative experiences with TrustPilot too. It's a big problem.
I spent a few $1,000 hiring some web developers on Upwork, and they were good at first, but then they just got really slow, and I never got the thing that I needed. It just never got done, and I was pretty upset. And I was like, kind of wanted to file a complaint, but then they're from Ukraine, And then I was like, man, then now they're MIA completely. So I was like, I'm just going to let this one go. Yeah. So it was kind of funny. I was like, I was contemplating. I was like, is this bad enough that I want to complain? Yeah, like because I was like, I don't really want to like get my money back, but I was like, I feel like, you know, like they never delivered. Like they built this whole website, but like it's not live. And I ended up giving up on it, and that's why we switched to Ghost, because I was like I just do not want to deal with WordPress anymore, right? But I let it go. Yeah. I just let it go now because I know that they're probably going through some hard time right now, so it's whatever. But
trying to feed themselves and stay alive.
Yeah, I think hiring people on things like Upwork and whatever, looking at reviews, you know, or whatever, you're trying to hire someone. You gotta be careful. You can't rely only on the reviews. Always read the reviews and kind of see if there's like, you know, some pattern of fakeness. I guess that's it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I would love to see if, this is a whole rabbit hole that we don't have time to get into right now, but I would love to see how Web3, how decentralized technology will solve this problem for us. Because there's a solution. There's got to be a solution. This is a Web 2 problem. We don't have time to dive into this now, but I'm hopeful. I remain optimistic that Web 3 there's some startup out there. There's some smart, savvy, tech savvy guy out there that's working on a solution for this problem, because reviews are vital. They're so important for a consumer to make a decision on how to move forward with whatever best practices or tasks that they're looking, or tasks or responsibilities they're looking to outsource. And we're living in a global village. The beautiful thing about what we're experiencing in the world right now is that you can literally be anywhere in the world, and you can still operate, you can still run a business, you can still find clients, you can still bring value to the marketplace. And reviews are huge. I still rely on them for a lot of things. And when you can't trust the reviews, you just feel like you've been tricked, and nobody likes that feeling. So
I think you're right with the Web3 possibly being the solution, because a lot of people have been talking about like the next social platform, the big one, is going to be a Web3 platform. And then if it is, then, then if your review is tied to that profile, would be very interesting. So it's a very interesting insight.